We are live. And we are. See you next time, guys. I'm out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blade Dragons podcast. And we are the Blade Dragons. We have four people with us today, not just me and Alex. It is myself, Elliot.
And me, Alex.
I'm the big guy.
That guy, Juicebox.
I don't have a face.
Juicebox is here. This is the post-game interview for the Beyblade Awards. Min, welcome. I will interview you now. How did the awards go?
I was excited to see everybody come and just watch in general. We broke numbers this year compared to last year. Shut the fuck up, Juice.
We're all just immature.
If anybody's coming, it's going to be metal, okay?
What?
All four of us were at the Beyblade Awards, whether it was in person or in Discord. Juice, over in Australia, was actually a front row guest to this awards. So we were all there IRL, but I think it's about time after the awards have aired to get the actual creator, the Mims guys, reference and opinion on how it actually went down. So the floor is yours, Mim. How were the awards in your end?
Honestly, I stressed myself out to getting this event going. We went from just going from we're going to record and have some co-hosts and, just do it that way, to having a full-blown live audience in a venue with sponsors for this thing. It was absolutely insane getting it going, but I loved every single moment of it. There were definitely some things getting production-wise of just creators, everything. Getting that going. There's some behind the scenes stuff that it was my first year tackling such a big project with so many creators. We were at 29 creators this year. We had, I want to say, 6 sponsors for this thing. It was absolutely insane. And just to cram all that into 1 month with the last minute saying, hey, we got the venue, but there's only 1 month left to get the live recording going, and then 1 month to get the full recording going, and then having to delay due to some audio issues with the whole thing, with the premiere of the awards. There were some scuffed moments for sure with the awards, but it eventually came through. We peaked, I want to say, at 87 people. We had multiple creators such as Lamar, Ilinuk, Counter, Cyberblade, Juice, all of these amazing creators watch the awards live. We're going to have some more watching the awards when they get the chance to. So it's not over yet. We still got creators reacting to the awards. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I wish we could have done a little better, but a lot of people that helped out, such as Bernessa, Sazi, you two, you guys made the awards run so much more smoothly and took a lot of stress and pressure off my chest.
It was crazy that I tuned in. I wasn't able to sadly live stream as we were hoping to plan to, but tuning in, I was like, wow, this is actually crazy to see it all come together. That the final product was a lot more than I was expecting. There was a lot of cool transitions and everything, and it all really just kind of felt surreal. I'm like, that's me on stage. I remember how much we were stressing and how kind of jank it felt with the 5 different camera angles and just us awkwardly walking up into the same room just in and out of frame. But it for how it turned out, it was actually so much fun to make. I'm glad that I was able to be a part of it, and it was just so funny. I was like, wow, this is a final product now. It's been like a month and a half possibly,
yeah.
And it's like, damn.
No, it's been basically a month and a week since we had recorded the awards. It was originally supposed to come out basically a full month and 4 days after we had recorded it, because if I remember correctly, we recorded it on September 9th. We had the live stream of the tournament that day as well. So the tournament came out that day a month earlier than what I think most people were expecting. There was no promotion for it, so that was a little something that I need to do better on next year, is just having the live stream for the awards tournament. And I honestly I didn't know how the live stream tournament was going to turn out. Kind of crappy in the quality originally, but once we had the VODs come on up, it was good quality. Um, but yeah, no, the awards were supposed to come out on the 12th. We had to delay it by a week, so about 12 days, a month and 12 days after the original, or a month and 11 days.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, I'm the person, coming in, seeing, proposing the vision to sponsors and venues of like, this is the vision, this is what we're expecting. I mean, in the first 24 hours, we got 1.2 thousand views in the first 24 hours, or 1.3, somewhere around that range. And I was like, oh my God, we exceeded, we got around our area, but I was expecting maybe 800 in the first 24 hours compared to last year's. Um, I am heavily considering next year for part for the committee to not have myself be nominated for any awards, because I am the main person putting on the events, and to, I think, a certain degree, people might view it as rigged, even if it was in a joking manner. It feels weird, the person putting on the awards, winning awards. It just, to
My
me
bad.
personally, it just does not sit right. So,
Yeah,
but I'll leave that up to my community and to what other creators think, if I should be put on the ballot list for next year and future awards.
I mean, considering all the work that you do put into not just the awards itself, but your videos and all the community stuff. I mean, someone's got to run this. It's not like we can just have somebody from the outside come in and set this all up. So, even if you are the main host and the creator of the awards, I think you still deserve to be on it. And, people will say, "Oh, rigged,
Mhm.
whatever," but I mean, go look at your channel. You've got like nearly 7,000 subs,
Yeah,
and you've done like so much for the community um with just the awards alone. So I think that you should be on the ballots for winning stuff. And people can be salty if they want, but I mean,
I mean
consider
that's
all
fair.
things considered, you do deserve I believe you deserve it full out.
Thank you. I mean, at the end of the day, it is community voted, and I do try to make it as fair as possible with the awards. I mean, each year we're gonna learn something new. I mean, this was the year of getting sponsors, tackling almost 30 plus creators. So I mean, I'm going to have to develop a system for going ahead and talking with creators and making sure everything's good, because I based it off what I did last year, and last year we were near almost like 20 creators, and it was manageable last year, but this year I definitely did struggle with talking with some creators and getting back to them. And a sponsor here or two, in which at that point I just said to the sponsor, like, hey, I'm so sorry that I completely keep blanking with you. I'm just going to cut complete costs, uh, so you don't need to pay anything. Here, just take the free sponsorship for the awards.
Yeah. Yeah, there were definitely a lot of stressful moments. Um, between setting up for the awards while we were with you and then afterwards editing and all that. But I mean, you've got us, you've got all the other creators who were involved, and we're of course more than willing to help you out with whatever you need. So definitely next year we'll have more of it'll be more communal in not just the awards aspect and bringing everyone together, but also the production of it and giving taking a lot of that weight off your shoulders.
I need to learn how to rely on teams of people for the awards. Um, and that's something that that started this year, with having it set up, is that I'm like, okay, there's some things that, like, I just need to, especially the day of the awards that we did the recording of. I was like, okay, the setup team. There was a setup team, as you guys saw in like the end credits. There was a bunch of different teams. I wasn't even credited for, I believe, the lighting. It was Bernessa and Elliot for the lighting team, because I didn't even handle lighting whatsoever. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm like, did that is your thing, setup team. There was a lot of people, especially the main core corpus gang. Um, they helped a lot for sure. So I got to give credit where credit is due, and I hoped the end credit scene. I really loved the end credit scene. It
Oh yeah.
definitely kind of like a teary eyed moment for me. It was like, oh, here it is all together, and with everybody that helped out in some sort of way or fashion. I mean, you guys didn't get to see the end credits for the most part. You guys got to see like a snippet as I was editing. You guys knew what the music choice was. So I mean, I want to know what y'all's thoughts were on like the end credits.
I thought it was beautiful. I was um being in the call, I didn't get as teary-eyed, but it felt so special, and it was such an honor to be in it, and especially after all the credits were done and having those images of us on the stage and all the creators and all the funny moments. I'm really glad you had that clip of
Yeah.
tossing Jet Kuso back and forth. That was great. I saw you had cut it and gone to the credits. I'm like, no, please end credit scene. So
I had to save it. I had to save it.
I was so happy to see that. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was I loved it. It was perfect.
It,
The I was concerned with some creators that were watching it. I was concerned like, oh no, it's a closing time. It's going to be copyrighted, but it's not copyrighted. I got a version that wasn't. So I'm like, please to watch it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so funny that it actually happened. Like that weekend was a blast. It was
No,
crazy that it all. I didn't expect it to go as well, if I'm gonna be honest. Like there was we flew down there and Mim's like shitting his pants. He's like, we got 8 different audio sources, 5 different cameras. The script isn't even wrote yet. We don't even know what we're
we were
doing. And I'm
last
and I'm
minute
like
on the
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here? I thought we
We were
just came
yeah.
here to help out, and we
Yeah.
just made the whole thing in like 48 hours.
It was nuts. Yeah, we were up until like 3:34 in the morning the night before, and we had to get up
I
at
went to bed
6.
at 3:30. You went to bed at like 4:30,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
had to wake up at 6:30. And I mean, I remember pulling out my phone as soon as like Ellie, you came. I was on the floor sleeping, and you had heard my computer alarm go off, and you like jolted me like hey, your alarm's going off. Get up.
It's like
I'm like okay.
you took a 2-hour nap. It's time to get back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's
I
what it
remember,
was.
like, I got my coffee going, and I remember pulling out my phone and just pretty much like, okay, just put it on for recording. Just go at it. This is for the vlog. This is for behind the scenes. Just go at it. Like there's no stopping. We're a full train force right now. I remember stopping at the gas station, picking up the 3 monsters, and then somehow the adrenaline hit lasted a lot longer than what I thought. I think it was a mix between the adrenaline and stress that kept me fucking going. And then finally starting to feel the tiredness around 1, 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, I
Yeah.
need my monster now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to take
Yeah.
I do have to take a moment here to thank Mim Sky for giving me some clothes to wear.
Yeah. When
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
told me the night before, that you did not bring your suit down or anything,
Right.
I'm like, oh fuck. This was
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah.
be alone. I like that was something I told y'all to be like, make
I
sure you bring.
the one thing was I wasn't 100% sure if you were serious about that or not.
Oh, I was
No.
dead
Yeah,
serious.
yeah, but then I was so focused on getting the camera equipment down and running Noozle's booth. I was like, I got everything. I forgot something. So thank you, Mim, for being Macy's and allowing me to go into your closet and try on what I
I mean,
wanted.
I was in a fraternity. I had 3 extra suits. I had plenty of ties. I knew Metal wanted to use the train tie I
Mhm.
gotten
Yeah.
because that was such a cool tie. I'm like, it just makes sense for him.
My
So,
my mother said I looked very dapper, so it all worked out.
yeah. I'm glad that it all fits you because we're
Yeah.
completely 2 different sizes.
Yeah, they're like, "Are those your clothes?" I'm like, "No, I don't know how they fit me either, but they did."
I was
Yeah.
like, I have These shoes, I have these shoes. I have boots. You could actually no, I didn't wear
No, he
boots.
was
I
about to
have
give
these
me
boots you
cowboy
could fit
boots.
in. Yeah, no, I mean cowboy boots down in Texas is you either use them as work boots or you use
Mhm.
them as dress boots, and I use both as both.
Yeah. Us
So
us northerners, it's a little different. Well, I live in the country, but I'm not a country boy, so it's a little foreign for me. You're like, "You have to wear the boots." I'm like, "Do I really though?"
you didn't grow up on a farm.
No, I did not.
Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, altogether it was definitely it was such a production, especially like the amount that we managed to get done in like the 3 days, like yeah, two and a half or so before the awards. Like, we got all of the award stuff ready by the
Yeah,
time it was ready to go. We were ahead of schedule. We had like 2 hours before the tournament was supposed to start. And
yeah, that
then
was wild. I was fully expecting because we had originally cut section 2 of the side awards, which is aka for people watching the premiere, it's like the speed round where there was some pacing issues when I was editing. And I just couldn't
It
get
wa
a
it was
grasp
so
for the
funny, yeah.
pacing
I was
for
l
some reason this year. Last year pacing was good, where you could tell where it was like it was a slow section, it was a fast section. But this year, I don't know what was going on with me, but I just couldn't get the pacing right. But there was like I guess an area where it was like you could feel like it was slow, and then out of nowhere we start speeding up, and then when creator spotlight the ads, and then slowed back out. That area was like the side sections if you had showed up in person, and we completely cut the side section for section 2 because I thought personally we weren't gonna have time, and we can just. And I was like, we're just gonna have to record this afterwards,
yeah, but then
and
we
we
were
turned out to be
yeah, like 2 hours ahead of schedule and we threw it in at the end and it worked
yeah.
out.
Yeah, we steam
I
plowed
was
through
like
that.
Yeah.
I was like fully expecting to be like, all right, like I was calculating after we gotten done with the main section and then the second.
Oh, what?
What?
Do I get balloons?
Which
No.
There we
You
go.
got the balloon.
Yeah, I got confetti.
confetti?
I fully expected. I was like starting to calculate. I'm like, okay, we did the main section, we did the side section, and we got the calculated time for the breaks in between to record in-person interviews. Um, which is something I want to come back to in a second. Um, and I was like, okay, we got all those, and I started calculating time. I'm like, we're not gonna have time for a certain side section, so I'm like, all right, just cut out side section 2, get it out of here for the time being. And we were so early, and that early time actually is the time we needed that hour to set up for the computer stuff in the live stream for the tournament, or else we would have been delayed by 30 minutes on our side because getting that stuff set up. I mean, I took down my entire PC setup. I didn't take my spare setup. I fully took my normal setup and just said, we're going for it. We're going all out. This is all out or nothing. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The amount of setup that went into doing the awards, and then we had yeah, we did have a good generous amount of time to set up for the tournament, but like it was definitely very,
It was needed.
like we had it down and we got it set up. And I mean, I think the only like major thing, and it's not even that big of a deal because the awards recording was fine. And then
Yeah.
it was just my audio for the announcer on the tournament didn't go through
Yeah,
all the way, which
It
unfortunately,
was
I didn't
perfect.
catch it on my side. Yeah, so I didn't catch it on my side. It turns it turned I plugged in my normal mic to go ahead and get everything set up, but I've completely forgot that normally um some webcams, which we were using like 3 different webcams because that's all I could fit into my computer for the USBs at the time, and I couldn't do any like wireless stuff. So we had the 3 cameras. We fully expected to go for 5 different cameras or 5 different, so we could do stadium stuff, but we didn't have a wire extender for another camera. and we didn't have any more ports to plug stuff in because I forgot my extender ports at my place. So I was like, all right, we're making do with what we got here. And I completely forgot that some webcams like to be audio sources and take priority over normal mics, and I use a Yeti mic. And so Metal's stream, unfortunately, not only Metal stream, but he was streaming himself, so we had that angle of himself that we could add in for later on if needed. But the mainstream for the tournament didn't even pick him up. It sounded like he was in the back seat of a classroom in some cases. I mean, there was the camera. If we had like a certain camera angle for the main that he was closest to, we could hear him fairly well. But then if we switched to other camera angles, which we did, we couldn't really hear him whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't think about the audio checks. So yeah, it wasn't a huge loss at the end. We still got all the tournament footage and all of that, so that was more important. And I'm only a little sad. My first outing as leader DJ didn't happen as well, but it's all good. I mean, we got the main stuff down, and I think that's what's really important. But yeah, I think yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah.
Of course,
I mean,
we still have the vlog that's got to come out.
oh
for all
god, I
the
haven't even started on my side of the vlog.
Yeah.
Elliot, you still need to send footage.
Yes.
I need the footage of Jet Kuso.
Well, I guess while we're on topic, Juice, how was the view from Australia? What did you think of the awards?
How did you like my crotch shot?
Straight crotch shot all day for 12 hours.
Yeah, look, watching the video, it was actually a nice experience. I never got to watch it from that point of view. I was on the floor like a fucking rat, so it was actually a lot better.
It was great. At one point,
Though-
I was watching the video, and I just hear before the clip cuts off, Juice say something. I'm like, "You motherfucker! You're never muted. How do you keep unmuting yourself?"
You couldn't figure it out. It was so damn annoying to a
Right?
certain degree because I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if this is going to catch on audio because we were using the phone's audio as a
Mhm.
backup source just in case if stuff went out because my mic personally went out at the very end. I'm like, oh fuck, or it went out during the second main,
Yeah.
or the third main and the fourth main, and so I'm like, no.
It was just funny. You were no
Whatever.
difference, Juice, but it was just funny. I heard it in one clip. I'm like that. I remembered that you just kept unmuting. I'm like, Juice, how can I hear you? I turn everything off on my iPad.
Yeah, we kept
I don't know what it
turning
was.
down
It
and
wasn't
the
my
iPad
fault.
kept turning back up.
It was your iPad, bro. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I only unmuted after the section was done and
Yeah.
you would walk off.
That was
And even
funny.
then, you would tell me to shut the fuck up. Shut up down there.
It's like
I think the
so
funniest
good.
part is that you had written something out for Metal to read, and then Luxo came by and read it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, we don't
And
talk
it was
about that.
meant for him to read it.
he's like nice cock, and Luxo comes over and is
Yeah.
like,
Since it was in front of me, I didn't see him there, and I pulled it down, and there he was. And he had this horrified look on his face. I was like, "Get fucked! I'm going to jail. This is it. This is where I'm done."
Nowhere meant for him, and he just kind of looks over. He's like, "Hey, Juice, how you doing?" And then he's just
Metal,
like, "Oh, what?"
Metal was standing there when I wrote it, and then I put it up, and he walked away.
oh my gosh, my face hurts.
Well, at first, Elliot was there because he crouched down, and that's all I got. I just got a crotch shot, every time he came up to me. They're like, oh, well, I'll leave him a little note, just so he knows.
Oh, that's so good.
I think what's worse is that during the recording or when the tournament was happening, Juice, you were left on a shelf to kind of
Yeah, for a while.
over the event, and then at the end, I found you. I'm like, holy shit, you're still going, and I brought you over to Sazi, Vanessa, Elliot, and Metal, and then we were like, and there were everybody was like, "You're still awake? You've been going for so long."
It's like
And
7
then the
a.m.
iPad dies at that very moment. And it's like, well, we lost you. As soon as we found you, the iPad dies and we can't. It was like, oh well.
Yeah, like the tournament ended, and I think all the prizes went out, and then we just hear from the table. We just hear Juice say something. He's like, "Oh, it's over," and then we just go over, and we're like, "He's still here."
The funny
I was devastated when it cut out.
The funny part was that he disappeared I picked him up on my phone when I was in your apartment, and he's sitting there
Yeah.
watching us make the pizza that I came and brought, and then he rejoined on the iPad when we got to the venue.
Oh man, it was.
It's like I got
it was
dragged there too. I was just sitting in there, and then boom,
And Juice
like I'm back.
is like, "Where'd you guys go?" I'm like, "I'm making a pizza. I'm in Mim's apartment right now." He's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I got left on a stack of chairs, like overlooking everything,
Yeah.
and I was
No,
yelling
it
out
was
to
a shelf.
people
It
when
was
they
a
walked
shelf.
by. I was a shelf.
Yeah.
I was yelling out to people, but like not everyone took notice. And
Everyone's
like I
like,
seen the
like-
lady with the cat, and I was screaming at the cat, like, "Give me the cat, please! I want to see the cat." And then like around then is when I got teleported to Elliot back at the apartment.
That's great.
And then I had to tell Mim like grab his iPad because it's just sitting there, and I didn't want anyone to snatch it.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah,
Not that
Juice's adventure is like
probably no one would, but
That was so good.
the Adventures of Juice Box was just a whole saga in its own during the awards, and I love that.
But it sounds like the awards was a fun time all around. It turned out very well. It was a stressful
Yeah.
thing, but it was a blast to put on. Do you guys have any closing statements or final words you'd like to throw out there?
I mean, for any sponsors or bait creators out there that are wanting to somehow participate in the awards next year, whether this be part of the audience, help promotion, sell your stuff, or have an ad for the awards, supply us with products for the awards tournament, be a vendor at the or at in person. Or even just show up for the awards in person, reach out to me. I have my business email, tmsbusiness00@gmail.com. Just DM me on Discord. Yeah, and even reach out to me in comments. Okay, I will try my best to get you on in. We're gonna be starting this up stuff, or at least confirming, vendor spaces next year, and hopefully hotel spaces next year. Down in Corpus Christi, Texas, again for next year, year 3 of the Beyblade Awards, 5 to 6 months in advance, so people are ready to go. We'll do once again, the live recording a month out from the premiere.
Heck yeah.
So again, in September, we'll have the premiere or the live recording, and the tournament happen then. So if vendors want to come down, let me know. There is a small fee. Okay. We're going to have actually title sponsor. We'll have title sponsors, and we'll have different like categories of sponsorships for the awards. Like my internship has taught me a lot about running events. And I'm like, oh my God, this is eye-opening for running the Beyblade Awards. So I'm getting experience as an intern while being prepared for next year's awards. So I'm getting a lot of experience there.
Yeah, next year is going to be bigger and better. We're going to have more creators.
yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get plenty more in person. That'll be tons of fun. As long as we get to share a bed.
There was if we had more time, just to give you a rundown on the creator list of people that we knew or that I reached out to come on down, we would have had Illinuk, potentially Left Burst. Jake Jones was definitely wanting to come down. Pop, our friend Pop, wanted to come on down. I want to say Maximum RPM. T-Flame was definitely wanted to come on down, but he just didn't have time. Lamar, after the premiere of the awards, after what he said on his live stream reacting to the awards, he's definitely interested. So he wants to come on out. Counter wants to come on out. He'll be of legal age to come on out next year.
Nick.
Nick is another one. Less than Bays as well. There's so many names.
You think of them, chances are.
Banana Bird's another one. Yeah, Banana Bird's another one. There's just so many that we already had from in the Texas region, crazy areas. And just to mention a few Baytubers and TikTok creators or Bay talkers. It's weird because we expanded. Not last year was just like focusing on Baytubers. This year was focusing on Baytubers and Bay talkers. And next year, I would like to get an additional focus on Bay Grammars, which is Beyblade Instagram, because there is a fair amount of people on Beyblade Instagram, but there's so many that it's overwhelming to the point of where I haven't even covered it on Beyblade TMZ, which is how I knew a lot of people were in certain sections. Which is something I would like to focus on next year, is just getting those people on in as well. And so, I mean, for just in-person creators, we have Luxo, Saucy, Metal, Elliot, Bay Dragons, which is what we are right here. Myself, Juice on video camera. We were supposed to have we were in early talks of having Solid down here, but unfortunately he couldn't make it.
We were close to getting Illinook down there, but
yeah, Illinook was very close, but unfortunately some things fell through, and it being a month out, there wasn't enough time ultimately. So nothing we could have done about that, sadly enough.
Yeah.
But I want to know from y'all three, what award you guys would like to see next year? Fully serious.
Next year.
Damn.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, we expanded the awards from 27 awards last year to 48.
This year?
We almost, this year we went up to 48, went from 27 to 48. So it was a big expansion on how many awards we did, but we were missing a few selections like Hall of Bladers. I think that was a really important one that I'm happy to see. Returning Blader, VTuber, newcomer, and the most definite Plastic Gen selection.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, not knowing what is on the list, I could say something it already exists, but off the top of my head, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a fever dream that I haven't studied at all. I don't.
Oh, you'll study plenty of it when the vlog comes out.
I can't say that I am very well versed inside of the community, so I don't know all the corners like TMS here.
Most of the
I
big
added
ones,
a category in the interview at the awards.
Did you?
You remember?
I don't. What'd you say?
You did ask a question like what interview
Judy.
or what
best Bay moms or best something.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
he said top Bay mom or something.
Yeah, best Beyblade
yes,
waifu.
sir.
I think you did that for
And
one interview.
that's a serious category.
No, that was in the interview. I did a post game interview with Juice after the interview on the iPad.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Juice's interview,
it's on.
The audio wasn't good, so I'm like, I gotta cut out a good amount of this.
Oh, I screen recorded it.
Damn.
You should have told me.
Oh my god.
We need that footage, Elliot, please. I'm begging you.
God damn it! I remember him saying that too. He said he was screen because I told him he had to turn it off.
I didn't know I didn't know Juice even had an interview outside of me and him just conversing.
Oh, that was it.
You came in and you fully said, "All right, we got an interview with Juice." So I'm like, "All right, we're going in."
Not that. I don't think that one. I think we did our own separate one, but I don't know.
Are we talking about the Blade Dragons one or the one at the awards?
At the awards.
At the awards.
Yeah.
Because you were screen recording because I told you don't forget to turn it off because otherwise you would have been screen recording hours.
Yeah, I don't.
Because you were about to walk away. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
I mean that's
man.
another thing we'll work on next year with coordinating all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean there was a plan to have interviews with a lot of Bay creators, but ultimately we just didn't have the time to interview people, so we just scrapped the idea and just ran with the people that showed up with the awards, and we did the interviews that way. Or else we would have had a lot more creators giving their thoughts on the awards and what they thought. They got nominated, what they thought about their competitors, and if they were going to win. Those questions.
Yeah. I think for next year, what we should do is plan around having interviews. So we do a few pregame interviews with more of the bigger names in the community, and then while the tournament's getting set up, we can have all of the competitive teams do that, and then we have the Bay tubers come over, and everyone gets a post game.
Yeah. Metal. What award would you like to see added next year?
Wait, metal. Before I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask: are you guys wearing each other's merch right now?
He's wearing the Elliot merch. I'm wearing the Beyblade.
And I'm wearing my
What are you wearing?
merch.
Oh, okay.
I was wearing that merch the other day too. Yeah. We've just turned into a smorgasbord of wearing each other's merch now.
It just makes me laugh how
You need to make
often, you guys wear my merch. It's just
I like the limited edition colors.
It's a good
That's
shirt.
why I like.
Yeah, no, I love the shirt.
Man,
Yeah,
you're
like
so
your shirt
lucky,
is one of my
man.
favorites. I think the one that I wanted to see was Beyblade skits, but I ended up not making my own. I do not think anyone else really did those.
It's kind of limited.
Yeah, it's really there's not a whole lot. I do kind of want to work on that, but it's tough with MTI Thomas now. That wasn't something that I expected to happen at the time of last year's awards, but yeah, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that would be useful for that. But I'm sure something will pop up in the next few months. Maybe we'll see a new trend.
Next 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, we got some time to do some scouting, so
people weren't expecting the VTuber award to show up, but there it was.
Oh yeah.
All right, Juice. What award would you like to see added next year?
I got nothing for you. I would have liked maybe not like a category, but just like a section dedicating just random smaller channels that didn't quite make it, or non-English speaking channels.
Spotlight.
Yeah, but like more of it, and like the the non-English speaking channels, because there's quite a lot of them.
That is true. There is a fair amount, but there is trying to find that on YouTube is kind of hard to a degree.
Fair.
There was a few that were suggested to me, and that was PNG, Beyblade YouTuber. There's a few. Juice, you're technically one. Luxo's another. Fat Quack's technically a third.
What'd you say, a PNG?
Technically, yeah, I'm technically to a degree because I do use my PNGs throughout my videos if I don't want to use a face cam.
Okay.
I was confused.
Best creator, and then best creator for each continent.
That's a good
one.
Okay. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
But that would add.
I thought he was saying I was a non-English speaking.
That's what I was like. I'm
what?
Like, PNG, is this a language I don't know about?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Wrap this up.
All right. Yes. So that is all we got for the 2024 Beyblade Awards. And as you can tell by the clothes I'm wearing, it was a smashing success. There were quite a few things that definitely, came wrong, but at the end of the day, shit happens. That's just how life goes. And we were pretty much able to roll through all of those and get a really good final product out. So I'm very happy with that. I was honored to be part of the awards at all. And, getting to do it in person and all that was just phenomenal. So, Mim, thank you so much for having us down there with you and being a part of it.
Thank y'all for being my support. Thank y'all for even flying down. I mean, I know it's a fairly expensive flight to come down here. And I mean, thank y'all for being my co-host. I think it's crazy that y'all were like at the last year's Bay Awards, like y'all two were like, oh my God, this is cool. I didn't know there was a whole Beyblade community to the point of now this year, you guys became my co-hosts.
That's outrageous.
I think that's the crazy thing to do in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
all the history that we had too. Yeah.
I think we watched it at like 50 subscribers a piece. Like Alex might have been on like 20. I'm on like 50. And we're like, this is so cool. And then it just snowballed so fast. We're like, okay then.
Yeah.
As always for the last year, we could talk for hours, but
Oh.
this has been fun. Thank you, Mim, for hosting the Beyblade Awards and
course.
keeping this community alive, of course. Bringing us all together once a year, just singing Kumbaya and spinning tops. So
Hey, legends rise one spin at a time.
I remember seeing that one wise man said in a bathrobe with a Dos Equis in his hand. Okay.
Drunk off shit.
So accurate.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Blade Dragons out.